This is our Honduras trip 2016. We'll start off with our construction trip. We had the opportunity to be with the Williams family in Tegucigalpa, helping build their school and their church building there. We had some surprises in our flight itinerary, but eventually the Lord got us all there safe and sound. After a quick, delicious meal, we began to make our trek out of the capital city of Tegucigalpa up into the mountains to a very quaint city called Santa Lucia, where the Williams work. We got to see some beautiful sights along the way. Once we arrived, we immediately began to get our tools unpacked and organized and getting everything ready for the job, putting some different tools together that needed assembly. And then we went ahead and looked at the job site to take some inventory of what we were going to need to get done. Brother Williams took us around and showed us the different things that he had envisioned for us to get done during this construction job.
I can do that.
This is Brother Evan Williams, our missionary in Honduras here, and he's going to talk about our site. Amen. And what we're going to be getting done.
Okay, well here we're going to put a staircase down here, down the front of the wall here, and it'll turn around and come back down to here. They're also going to put a sidewalk from that first step out and down and round the building so that we can get into the storeroom and without having to walk through mud. So that's great. And up the stairs, we'll be finishing the second floor on the upstairs.
After a good night's sleep on Saturday, we got up bright and early and got working right away, carrying block out to be able to lay it out, getting the dirt and concrete mix that we needed, and sifting it, make sure that it was clean and ready to be used. We were able to bring this little mixer with us to mix our mortar and our concrete. And if you've ever mixed concrete on the ground on the mission field, you're thankful for a mixer like this, saved your back. And we were able to leave it with the missionary as a gift, and he could use it for future purposes there in his construction. Once we got the mortar mixed, we began building the walls of what would eventually be the living quarters for the Christian school teachers that I'll be teaching in that school. Maybe even Susie Zane. Sort of neat to think that Mr. Zane got to go down there and work on the building that may be where his daughter eventually lives and serves the Lord. As the wall got higher, we had to eventually build some scaffolding to work on. Then we had the Richards on the electric crew, Richard Dean and Richard Zane, and they got going and running the electrical throughout the building. Brother Billy Noboa helped them as well. Before too long, it was time for lunch, and we were able to eat some great meals, some typical Honduran food each day. They fed us well, and after a meal like that, boy, you just felt like laying down for a little while. And but it wasn't too long, and we were back up working hard again. Brother Kevin Canalacchio and Brother Eddie Moore began building the forms for what would eventually be the sidewalk where we would pour the concrete there. As we finished each hard day of work, it seemed like the Lord rewarded us with some beautiful sunsets that we got to see each day. Sunday, we got started off with a fantastic breakfast as we got ready to go to church that morning. We had our Sunday school there at the hotel in English so the guys would get something there spiritually. Then we headed off to the church where the Lord gave me the opportunity to preach in Spanish. The church was filled and overflowing, and we all were able to see the absolute need they have of building a new church building. Upstairs, things were coming along very nicely. We were able to begin putting the bathroom in. John McCone and Robert Murphy were our plumbing team, and they did the plumbing all throughout the buildings, putting up some PVC pipe and a place for the water to run, hot water, cold water. And also, Robert is a welder, and so he did a great job welding. And once the missionary found out that he was able to do that, they put him to work, and he welded the rooftop rafters. And I think the missionary was asking him to come back by the time he got done. Next, we had to build the forms for the concrete stairwell. Brother David Moore headed that group up. We had to do a lot of cutting, a lot of figuring, a lot of rebar and wood to make sure it'd be braced up properly so when they put the concrete, it would stay standing. And here you can see some pictures of the finished product. Up top, we finished laying the concrete wall, and we're ready to pour the ring beam, which keeps the wall structurally safe at the top. We got up early, we worked late each night till we had no more light, and sometimes even past that point. Of course, we always found a little bit of time to enjoy ourselves, a little Coca-Cola or some ice cream, and we sent some pictures back to Pastor just to make him a little bit jealous. The next day, though, it was back to work. We were at a point where we could start putting on the rafters onto the roof and putting down some insulation and eventually putting on the tin roof as well. Brother Bill Simon and Josh Sanford worked on that. It was good to have Josh with us on this trip. He flew up from Texas to fly down to Honduras to go on another missions trip with us. It was a blessing to fellowship with him. Put drywall on the inside, and here you can see the finished product. Richard Dean finished up all the electrical by putting in a circuit box and hooking up the wires to it.
Oh, we had to drill a couple of walls, through the walls here, run some power from upstairs here, from a main breaker box. Install 2 new breaker boxes here. These bundles of wire that you see here.
The Lord blessed our work, and we were able to get a lot done in a quick amount of time. And so we had some bonus jobs we were able to do. We were able to get this septic tank in place for the missionary, and he was really happy to have that done as well. I'll share this last story with you. This is Andres. He's the hotel owner. The hotel where we stayed is called the Texas Guest House Hotel. Pastor would love it. But Andres, a couple weeks after we left, came to know the Lord as his Savior. And I trust and hope that our testimony had an influence on him toward that. There were 14 of us in all, and we want to say thank you for letting us represent you there in Tegucigalpa. Meanwhile, our singles group, just a few weeks later, took a trip to San Pedro Sula, the northern part of Honduras, and they were with Matt and Delita Goins. It was neat how the Lord worked it out. They happened to be there at the same time that our missionary, Eric Johnson, was there preaching the missions conference for Brother Goins. They were able to do some various activities with the young people, and they also had the opportunity to visit the children there in the orphanage. Also were able to give some testimonies and do some special music there in the church.
Hey, Pastor Pittman and Temple Baptist Church. This is Matt Goins, missionary in Honduras. And here we have your group that you sent down to us. This is the last day of our missions conference, and so we thought you'd be excited about that a missionary that you support is also supporting missionaries. And one of your missionaries is here with us preaching the conference. Eric Johnson is here from Dominican Republic. And so thank you for sending this group. They've been a blessing to us, singing and serving. And thank you for your support of this ministry all these years. We hope that you're appreciative of the investment that your missions dollars are having here in Honduras.
We hope you'll pray about maybe going on one of our next mission trips with us.